In the vast wilderness where survival is a constant test of wit and strength, two of nature's most formidable predators, lions and tigers, have long captured our imagination not only for their physical prowess but also for their problem-solving abilities. While much attention is given to their hunting skills and territorial dominance, a fascinating question arises. Which of these magnificent big cats demonstrates greater survival intelligence when it comes to learning, trial and error, and solving complex puzzles in order to overcome obstacles in their environment? In other words, can a tiger outsmart a lion when faced with a challenging puzzle such as navigating a labyrinth or unlocking a cage? And which one has the potential to develop what one might whimsically call wild artificial intelligence in the animal kingdom? The concept of survival intelligence in predators goes far beyond raw physical strength. It encompasses the ability to learn from experiences, to adapt one's behavior based on trial and error, and to solve problems that are critical for survival in a dynamic and often hostile environment. For both lions and tigers, these skills are essential. However, the nature of their respective lifestyles suggests that their cognitive strategies might be quite different. Tigers, by nature solitary hunters, rely heavily on their ability to strategize, adapt quickly, and solve problems without the benefit of group coordination. Their solitary existence in dense forests forces them to depend entirely on their own resources, keen observation, patience, and a remarkable memory, to navigate challenges and overcome obstacles such as complex terrain or ingenious barriers that might stand between them and their prey. Lions, on the other hand, live in prides where cooperation and collective action are the norm. Their social lifestyle requires them to communicate, coordinate, and sometimes even solve problems together in order to hunt efficiently or defend their territory from rivals. This interdependence has cultivated a form of intelligence that is as much about teamwork and social learning as it is about individual problem solving. In terms of individual cognitive abilities, research on captive big cats has revealed that both species are capable of learning through trial and error. When presented with puzzles that require them to manipulate objects to gain access to food, tigers often exhibit a methodical approach. They carefully inspect the puzzle, test different techniques, and adapt their strategy based on the feedback from their environment. For example, a tiger might figure out how to nudge a lever or slide a latch open by persistently pawing at it until it discovers the mechanism that releases the lock. This ability to learn from a failed attempt and modify behavior is a clear indicator of high problem-solving skills. Tigers are known for their exceptional memory and attention to detail, attributes that have likely evolved due to their solitary nature where every success or failure directly impacts their survival. Their need to overcome obstacles on their own means that when they encounter a challenge such as an unfamiliar barrier or a complex maze-like enclosure, they quickly learn which approaches work and which do not. Lions, while equally intelligent, often exhibit different problem-solving tactics that are influenced by their social nature. In a group setting, individual lions might rely on the collective experience of the pride. When faced with a challenge, say, opening a latch or navigating a maze, the lion may not always be the one to figure out the solution independently. Instead, they often learn from observing the actions of another, more experienced member of the pride. This social learning process can be very efficient, as it allows the group to benefit from the trial and error of one individual. However, the downside of such reliance on group dynamics is that it might also mean that individual lions do not develop the same level of independent problem-solving skills as tigers. In situations where a lion must solve a puzzle alone, its performance might lag behind that of a tiger that is accustomed to relying solely on its own intelligence. That said, the lion's ability to work as part of a coordinated unit can be a tremendous advantage in situations where multiple challenges must be overcome simultaneously. Their group strategies often involve dividing tasks, where one lion might distract a potential obstacle while another figures out how to bypass it. One particularly striking example of survival intelligence in big cats comes from the way some individuals have learned to open cages or unlock doors. There have been documented cases in various wildlife sanctuaries and zoos where tigers have been observed manipulating locking mechanisms by using their paws and teeth in a series of trial and error experiments. These tigers seem to remember the layout of their enclosures and, Over time, learn how to operate simple mechanisms that would seem to require a level of understanding comparable to problem-solving in primates. Although lions are also known to be curious and capable of similar feats. The solitary nature of the tiger forces it to develop a more refined skill set for overcoming such obstacles without relying on external help. The ability to open a cage or bypass a barrier is more than just an amusing anecdote. It is a demonstration of cognitive flexibility that has significant implications for survival in the wild. If a tiger finds itself trapped in an area due to environmental challenges, its ability to navigate out of confinement can mean the difference between life and death. The idea of developing what one might call wild artificial intelligence in the animal kingdom is a playful way to conceptualize the cognitive capabilities of these predators. It invites us to consider how evolution has equipped these animals with the mental tools to learn from their environment, adapt to new challenges, and even outsmart barriers that seem insurmountable. In many ways, the tiger's problem-solving abilities, its aptitude for learning from every encounter and adapting its tactics accordingly, could be seen as an evolutionary precursor to what humans might consider artificial intelligence. Similarly, the lion's ability to coordinate with its pride and use social cues to overcome challenges speaks to a form of distributed intelligence that is no less impressive. In an environment where every moment is a lesson and every challenge is an opportunity to evolve, both species exhibit a form of intelligence that is finely tuned to their ecological niches. When comparing the two species head-to-head, one might ask, which is the better puzzle solver? The answer is complex and depends largely on the context. In solitary situations where a big cat must overcome an obstacle alone, such as navigating a maze or opening a locked gate, the tiger's independent learning and adaptive trial and error methods may give it an edge. Its natural propensity for careful observation, coupled with a relentless drive to succeed, allows the tiger to excel in tasks that require sustained focus and creative problem-solving. In contrast, the lion's strength lies in its ability to leverage the collective experience of its pride. In environments where social dynamics come into play, the lion can benefit from the input of multiple individuals, making group problem-solving more efficient. However, this reliance on social learning might not translate as effectively in scenarios where an individual must act alone. Thus, while lions excel in collaborative contexts, tigers might prove to be the superior independent thinkers. The differences in their hunting strategies further underscore these variations in intelligence. Tigers, with their solitary hunting methods, have evolved to be masterful ambushers. Their approach to hunting is often characterized by careful, deliberate stalking and a sudden, explosive pounce that leaves little time for their prey to react. This method requires not only physical strength and speed but also a keen ability to assess and anticipate the behavior of prey. Over time, a tiger that consistently refines its technique through observation and memory is likely to become more effective at hunting even as environmental conditions change. Lions, on the other hand, rely on their ability to work in concert. Their hunts are a blend of individual initiative and coordinated group action, where each member of the pride plays a role in the overall strategy. This approach has its own kind of intelligence, one that is distributed across the group rather than concentrated in a single individual. While this strategy is highly effective in the open plains of Africa, it might not translate as well to scenarios that require rapid, individual decision-making, such as solving complex puzzles or escaping from confinement. The broader implications of these cognitive differences extend into the realm of conservation and animal welfare. Understanding which species is more adept at problem-solving in captivity can have significant impacts on how zoos and wildlife sanctuaries design their enclosures and enrichment programs. For example, tigers might benefit more from interactive puzzles and challenges that stimulate independent thinking and allow them to exercise their natural curiosity. Lions, conversely, may thrive in environments that encourage social interaction and group problem-solving. These insights not only help in creating better, more naturalistic habitats for captive big cats but also shed light on the evolutionary processes that have shaped their intelligence over millennia. Moreover, the debate over which species is the ultimate puzzle solver carries a certain cultural fascination. In popular media, tigers are often portrayed as solitary, enigmatic figures whose mysterious nature sets them apart. while lions are depicted as noble leaders and symbols of strength. These portrayals, though sometimes romanticized, are rooted in observable behaviors that reflect real differences in how these animals approach the world. The tiger's ability to silently navigate complex environments and solve problems independently positions it as a sort of wilderness genius, a creature that embodies the very essence of individualistic intelligence. The lion's communal problem-solving skills, on the other hand, speak to a different kind of wisdom, one that values cooperation, social bonds, and collective experience. The interplay between these two forms of intelligence creates a rich tapestry of survival strategies that not only define these species in the wild but also inspire awe and admiration in those who study them. In a hypothetical scenario where both species are presented with a series of challenges, say, a complex maze, a series of locked enclosures, or other puzzles designed to mimic the unpredictable challenges of the wild, one might observe distinct differences in their approaches. A tiger, operating alone, would likely approach the challenge with methodical persistence. It would examine the puzzle, use its senses to analyze the situation, and then experiment with different techniques until it discovers a solution. Its process would be slow, deliberate, and highly individualized, reflecting the necessity of relying solely on one's own wits in the unforgiving wilderness. A lion, however, might approach the same challenge differently. In a simulated group environment, lions could share observations, coordinate their actions, and even take turns attempting to solve the puzzle, each contributing to the collective knowledge of the pride. While this collaborative approach can be highly effective, it might also slow down the process if the group's dynamics lead to hesitation or conflict. Furthermore, the concept of developing wild artificial intelligence in these big cats is an intriguing one. An idea that captures the essence of their problem-solving abilities in a way that is almost analogous to human ingenuity. Over countless generations, natural selection has fine-tuned the minds of tigers and lions to meet the demands of their environments. In captivity, where challenges can be artificially designed and repeated, we see glimpses of their latent cognitive potential. Tigers, with their independent streak, often surprise caretakers with their ability to manipulate objects, solve puzzles, and even learn simple tasks that require a degree of reasoning. Lions, in contrast, demonstrate a form of intelligence that is more relational and socially embedded, using their strong bonds and communication skills to work as a team. Each of these cognitive strengths reflects a different evolutionary solution to the problem of survival, a solution that is as fascinating as it is diverse. In conclusion, the question of whether tigers or lions are better problem solvers, and by extension, which possesses the superior survival intelligence, is a complex one that touches on a wide array of factors. The tiger, with its solitary, independent nature, excels in environments where individual ingenuity, trial and error, and rapid adaptation are key. Its ability to navigate complex challenges on its own may well give it the edge in situations that require a high degree of personal problem solving. Meanwhile, the lion's strength lies in its social intelligence, the power of group coordination, shared knowledge, and collective decision-making that enables the pride to tackle challenges that would overwhelm an individual. In the grand tapestry of evolution, both species have honed their cognitive abilities in ways that best suit their natural lifestyles, and each exhibits a form of intelligence that is as remarkable as it is specialized. As we continue to study these magnificent creatures, it becomes increasingly clear that the survival intelligence of big cats is not a simple matter of one species being inherently smarter than the other. Rather, it is an intricate balance of individual prowess and social cooperation, of solitary determination and collective wisdom. Whether the tiger's singular brilliance or the lion's communal strategy prevails in a given challenge depends on the context, on the environment, the nature of the problem, and the unique strengths of each animal. Ultimately, both the tiger and the lion serve as awe-inspiring examples of evolution's capacity to shape intelligence in the wild, each in its own extraordinary way.